Run us through your process.
So my process is to get a big piece of meat.
Big piece of meat.
This is 6 pounds. And then I like to trim it down a little, take off some of the fat, even though some of it'll render out. I take a knife and I score it in a crosshatch, about like inch by inch or inch and a half by inch and a half. Because if you don't, once it starts cooking, because the fat is tight, it just shrinks up into this like knuckle. I inject it with beef broth to kind of keep it moist inside.
You don't use that for other things, do you?
I'm not saying I do, and I'm not saying I don't.
Just squeeze it in there, huh? Whoa, that's crazy.
You can see that as you're doing it, it's kind of plumping up.
Right.
So the rub is a lot of pepper, garlic powder, some onion powder, some mustard powder, a little sugar, a little bit of salt, some cayenne, and you put that on, then you throw it on the smoker. So it's an electric smoker, which again means I don't have to sit and wait, and I don't have to tend it. It's got an electric thermostat, so it just keeps it dialed in at exactly the temperature that I want it to be.
What temperature is that?
So I do it between 225 and 250, and when it gets maybe close to the time where I'm gonna pull it, sometimes I leave it on the smoke setting, which is about 150 degrees, and all it does is it just smokes and smokes and smokes.
How cool is this thing? And just let it sit for hours.
So I'll come check it in about an hour, hour and a half, and if it's running a little fast, I'll turn it down because you want enough smoke to get in there.
Sure.
So it's been cooking for a while, some of the fat's rendered, so then I need to check the temperature of it to make sure it's close enough. Yep, we're dialed completely in. Pull it off, bring it in, and then we actually braise it in the oven for about 2 or so hours. So for braising, I just add the beef broth, and then literally 1 beer, and then it just cooks off for another few hours or so. Try not pouring it on top.
You still want to have that flavor of all that stuff on top, you know?
I try to place the thermometer as it's going in to about the thickest part, because the middle, where it's the thickest, it's going to take the longest to get done. So we cover it up with some foil, giant tent-sized piece of foil.
Yeah, we definitely have to have a large foil.
With the foil on tight, it keeps the heat and the steam inside. Essentially, you're cooking it in a liquid and you're steaming it so it gets up to the right temp. So then it's gonna cook at about 225, 250 degrees for another couple hours until it gets to 195 degrees. So yeah, so then this is gonna cook for a couple hours and then we'll pull it off and let it rest. There you go. And then this is gonna open up and reveal.
Wow. Oh, smell that. Little wrappy wrap there.
Yep. So to kind of keep the heat in and keep the moisture in.
Right.
And then it goes into the handy dandy cooler, which is working in opposite by keeping it warm.
Great.
And then it'll sit for about an hour or two and be ready to slice. And this is going to be a little hot.
Oh my gosh, look at that thing.
The grain is running basically north to south like that. So you want to be cutting it against it, because if you cut with the grain, it just
it'll be too hard to
terribly chewy.
Yeah. Wow, you got a nice sharp knife.
Yeah.
But I gotta get in there and try some of this. Oh my God.
Pass muster. And usually you want to slice as much as you're going to eat because it'll dry out otherwise.
The flavors are phenomenal.
Thank you. So there we go. So now we have a whole bunch of brisket to eat.
Wow.
Yeah.